Guys, you're welcome to the show. It's at Sport with FX. And it's your boy FX, Baba Femi Shosonya, back again after 1 week. Good predictions from the last episode. And we're here. And if you are watching, we have something softer this time. Soft like Tony, more or less, like that MI song, Uti. We've been having hardcore voices all this while, crooked, rough voices. It's about time we had something sweet. You get me? How you doing, Toyosi?
Hi, I was waiting for that moment where I finally get to speak because I was like, it cut on all of these, special introduction. But yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm fresh. I'm good to go. It's good to have you.
Shane.
Finally, you're the fourth female on the podcast, and we're really happy to have you. But the first guest to come one-on-one with FX, at the sports. And how does it feel?
I feel good. I feel special. I feel honored to be here. But nice. Yes, thank you for having me here.
Good. We're going to definitely be talking about sports, entertainment, lifestyles. We're going into stuff about you especially.
Okay.
Of course, football. The first key thing, guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys watched what happened yesterday. And Arsenal.
Top of the league,
still top of the league. Respect to that.
Wait, top of the league? I thought they were always losing.
Well, not this season, Toyosi. They're doing really well.
That's surprising. Don't you think?
She's one of us. She's coming to come and jab you guys. Problems. But guys, it's at Sport with FX. Always share, like, comment. We're here for you guys, and we're always looking forward to your feedback, really. But let's get into it straight up. Uti, yesterday's game started with the first 12:30 kickoff, Southampton, Manchester United. Pretty drab game, but United are more or less back in it. 1-0, good goal from Bruno Fernandes. What did you make of that game? It was kind of drab, but United looked really solid.
It was 0-0 for the most part. So I really kind of tuned off at some point. I didn't really follow it because I was just waiting for my own game,
For 5:30, Abi. Yeah. I did the commentary for that on radio, by the way, Toyosi, and running. Yeah, I was doing that on 99.3. Stoppage Time, a show called Stoppage Time.
Oh, nice. Didn't know you did commentary too.
Oh yeah, I do. By the side hustle, I would say. And yeah, it was a bit drab, but eventually it lit up in the second half. And United kind of sped up the game a bit and moved the ball around faster. And they got that goal. It was a good goal from Bruno. And they got 3 points. That's 6 points in 6 days, Uti. Yeah, that's a good one for Eric Ten Hag after all the criticism he got in the first 2 games. But moving on to the City game. 2-0 at halftime. Crystal Palace were coasting, Uti. Patrick Vieira had done everything right. Even without their marquee player, Luis Zaha, they were on top of the world. What do you think Pep did in that second half, really?
That's Pep's magic, man. That's him. That's just Pep. He just knows the right things.
Because everybody thought the City were actually going to lose that game from what we saw last season.
Haaland came through with the hat trick.
Actually, we've been warned now to pronounce Erling Haaland's name as Haaland. Yeah, it's actually Erling Haaland, but hey, dude has more goals than appearances. Guy's like a cyborg.
Meanwhile, there's this one player that is very, very outstanding.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you heard of this player, Toyosi Kemiobabi? She's an amazing player. Oh my goodness, Uti, the look on your face. Anyway, yes, moving on. I mean, I couldn't just be, I was just listening to all of these names. You guys were calling Holland, this, that. Come on. Toyosi has to be one notable name too. But yeah, moving on.
Shout out to Toyosi.
Shout out to Toyosi. A huge polo and F1 racing fan, by the way, which are sports. So we're definitely going to dive into that. But lastly, it has to be the Arsenal-Fulham game. Arsenal came back from nowhere, in my own opinion. They had...
You can't say from nowhere. I mean, we had all the possession first half, just didn't convert. Then ended up going behind by a mistake by Gabriel. And then, before you know it, we did it, man. Odegaard
with a deflection. You need a bit of luck in terms of that. But controlled game, no doubt.
Control the
Uti
whole
doesn't
game.
want me to. He doesn't want me to criticize Arsenal, but I'm not. This is where I was going.
Is it because Chelsea and then
No. Calm down. This is where I'm going. I felt Arsenal for the first time had their backs against the wall. That was the first time they were conceding, and it looked like they were going to either draw or lose that game. So it was a mentality thing, and I liked the way they bounced back really quick. That was very important. And it was good that it was the main guy, Gabriel. So Toyosi is like you now.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming for at Sport with FX, yeah?
Okay.
And once you come in, you now trip.
Oh.
Yeah, you trip.
I actually did trip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You tripped. So you did trip. When you now trip, you now start complaining like, man, I broke a nail. I can't really, you're not taking responsibility really.
Yeah.
You're now like, I broke a nail. I don't think we can do this, FX. I don't want to come on there. Maybe you should run solo on this. So analyze that. Let's try to put it to Gabriel's situation.
Yeah.
He was robbed off the ball.
Okay.
They passed the ball to him. And he just, casual, like a desical, and he's robbed off the ball by Mitrovic, a big, strong fella. And that one scores a good goal, celebrates well, give them the whole celebration. Can I hear? And it's an away game. But guess what? The guy that was robbed off the ball is the guy that now scores the winning goal.
Oh,
so that's taking responsibility. So if you broke that nail that time, I hope you didn't break the nail though.
No, I didn't. Don't worry. I'm fine.
And you decided to now say, let's still do it.
Yeah.
Let's still do the show. You took responsibility and you made the show happen. So that's, I hope
More
that
like a
analogy
bounce back.
made sense. Yeah, shout out to Toyosi, man.
Oh, yeah, every time.
Player,
every
man.
time.
Player, man. But
Well,
hey,
it's funny how, I don't know, now listening to this now, it's actually interesting because I always wonder why people analyze football so much. And then the terms, oh my God, it was a controlled game, it was this, it was that. I'm always wondering, but sitting here and listening, it's actually interesting.
it is because
Yeah, it is.
there's even so much to it. Football has many dynamics to it. There's momentum parts, there's the fan base, there's the technical area, then of course the players, which are most important. So, but it's the skill, everything, the goals, most importantly. But yeah,
Okay.
it's an amazing. You should go to a stadium. You should experience a stadium.
Will you take me?
I will. We will. You know
Very
what?
well,
Guess
then.
what? Uti is a fan of Sporting Lagos FC. Sporting
Okay.
Lagos FC actually play at Teslim
Okay.
Balogun Stadium.
Yes,
Just
yes,
here,
yes,
just around
just
the
here.
corner. Yeah. So,
founding member.
and he's a founding member. Yeah.
Founding member.
Yeah, it's a new club.
Okay.
Club was formed this year, I believe. Oh, last year. And they're in the NNL, National Nationwide League, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Division 3 in a way for
Okay.
in our professional league in Nigeria. So yeah.
So
we
when
would-
take me to stadium?
Yeah, once we find out the next team game,
Okay.
let you know.
Okay then.
For sure.
All right.
But hey, guys, one thing I've realized about Toyosi is that she's an avid fan of F1. And excuse me, we're having a conversation, guys, and I was talking to Toyosi, and the conversation went around, why do you like car racing? And she kind of broke it down behind the scenes, but I want to hear that again.
I mean,
Why?
why not? Why
Why?
not? I mean, the adrenaline,
Yeah.
the cars, the whole buzz around it. Just
Yeah.
watching it, it feels like, oh yes, you're following, and then you find yourself tilting as the cars are, moving.
Exactly.
And of course, cars, not just any car,
Power. You like power.
Don't you like power?
I
Let me
do.
ask you to
I
begin
do.
with. Don't
I
you
do.
like power?
I do.
So yes, I mean that's what picked. Those were the things that piqued my interest.
Right.
Yeah, in the Formula
Yeah.
One car racing.
That's good. That's good. Any particular driver you like? Lewis Hamilton, Verstappen.
Okay.
Am I confusing you with the names?
No. So you see, now that's
Lewis
the
Hamilton
thing.
is British
You know
and he's
how,
black, by the way.
So you know how you watch movies and then this is embarrassing though. You know how
No, it's
you watch
fine. We'll
movies
put
and
you on
you
the
don't
spot.
really know some of the names of the actors. That's the situation I'm in. I just
Yeah.
watch, but I don't really know the names of the drivers. But you see, Lewis Hamilton is one
Yeah.
of like a very popular name you
Yeah,
hear
he is.
everywhere. So maybe I'll just choose him because he's popular, not because I do know.
And he's a major protagonist for Black Lives Matter as well. So yeah,
okay.
he's British and he's black and he's a fantastic driver and he drives a Mercedes. So
Oh, I'll go look him up.
yeah.
I'll go look
See,
him up.
learned one thing on at the sport with FX.
Oh yes,
See,
I like I said
See,
before, it's been interesting and it's been educating too.
you see. So with the Belgian Grand Prix, by the way, it's happening today.
Today, yes.
Yeah,
today.
and they start in another 20 minutes by 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have to catch up later on that one.
I was even going to go quickly run through who's in pole position. I think it's Sainz for Ferrari, just to be sure. Yeah, it's Sainz for Ferrari because a lot of penalties have actually been handed out to a lot of drivers during the qualifiers for the Belgian Grand Prix.
Okay.
Verstappen is starting in 15th position. Leclerc is starting in 15th position. Usually why they penalize the F1 guidelines or authorities penalize drivers and their cars is because of added parts to the car. So the Red Bull team and the Ferrari team added some parts to the car. So usually your car will be faster. So you'll be penalized.
Course,
So yeah, exactly. So that's why they've been penalized and they've been moved to 15th and 16th. So Sainz for Ferrari starts in pole position. Perez, who's also a Red Bull driver, starts in second. Alonso, third. Hamilton, the guy we just... Yeah.
That name also sounds very familiar.
I think he drives for Williams, by the way. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, guys.
Williams? Do you know why? Because Alonso is in Shakespeare, William Shakespeare's book. You're talking about Alonso again in sports, and then you happen to call Williams. Why?
See,
a coincidence or...
You're just killing Uti in the side.
It's the way Uti is shaking his head for me. Expect more of this, Uti. You get used to me.
And then we've got a joker in the house and a real one. I love it. Well, Hamilton in fourth, Russell in fifth, and it keeps on going.
Yeah.
Guess what? Another story just came out. McLaren is dropping Ricciardo. Ricciardo is no longer going to be driving for McLaren after this season, and he won the Italian Grand Prix last season. And Lando Norris, his teammate, so in F1 you're meant to have 2 drivers per car. So
2.
In order to actually go high in the championship race and all that. And Lando Norris has been doing really well. Yeah. So here's the thing. They are cutting off your teammate. And they ask you what you feel about it. And he's like, well, I really feel no pity for him.
Whoa,
I'm telling you,
too bad.
you're not really doing well. I actually even want to quote him. Like it was that deep. And here's what he has to say. And it's like, Lando Norris has no sympathy for Daniel Ricciardo's struggles. I guess I'm surprised because when Daniel came into the team, everyone expected more.
Yeah.
I'm sure himself even, he expected more from himself. Norris said on Thursday. When you look at it that way, yeah, I'm surprised. But I'm not having a dig or anything. Well, yeah, you're having a dig, Lando.
Clearly.
At your teammates. But when you look at the results, yes, the results have been bad. If you want 2 people to be at the same level, then you're not surprised. It's hard to know when to call it, I guess, and which is what we've done. When asked if he had any sympathy for Ricciardo's difficult season, he said, I hate to say it, but I would say no. That's cold, man.
That's really cold. You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
I would never do that to you, Toyosi.
Are you sure it's not just because we're in air?
Loriro.
I would never do that to Toyosi. I would never do that to any woman.
Anybody, actually. I wouldn't do that to anybody.
I know that's very hard to believe, but I would never do that to anybody that doesn't deserve. But man, that was ice cold from Lando Norris.
That was so cold.
But guess what? You see how God works in mysterious ways. Now for this qualifying, for this Belgian Grand Prix. So Lando Norris said that on Thursday, and they're racing today.
Yeah.
Guess what position Ricciardo is? The guy that they're letting off by the end of this season. Yeah, and guess what position Lando Norris is?
Tell me.
Let me just...
I'm eager to know.
Just to be sure. I know. Yeah. I just want to give you...
Yeah, to be certain.
Just want to be very certain. Sorry, guys. Ricciardo is in 7th place and 20 cars race, by the way. And guess where Lando Norris is? 18th position.
How many
That's
cars?
the guy that just gave bad belly to his teammates. That's proper village people
How
chasing
many
Lando Norris.
races did he partake in? The 18th position.
It's a qualifier, so they have to race against time to actually be in certain positions for... Exactly. So it's your fastest lap that puts you in a grid where you're in the front row or in this next row. So, Ricciardo is in the second row, basically. And his teammates that criticized him is in the last row.
So, too bad.
Yeah, that's village people right
now,
there.
he should just give his criticism to his own self.
I'm telling you.
He needs it more.
I'm telling you, man. Sad. But hey, let's move on quickly. Why polo? Some people won't consider sports or polo sport, but it is, because I have friends that actually play polo. Shout out to Gaddafi, Kunle Adeyemi. big polo player. Plays in Badon Polo Club and wherever you can find him, really.
You seem to know like different people in different areas of sports. But yes, why I like polo.
Bad boy. Bad guy.
I just sport with FX.
I just sport with FX, man.
He changed boy to guy. That's the part that I liked. Yeah, so I was talking about why I like polo. Why
Give us that
piqued my
history.
interest.
Yeah.
So you see, growing up, I don't know if you're from Ijebu like me, you'd know what they call
Also from
Ojudioba.
Ijebu.
It's like this festival where people come around. People
Yeah.
from
Ojuoba, did you say?
no Ojude Oba.
Ujude Oba.
Ojude Oba, yes.
All
People
right.
from like different royal families, they come with their horses and they, do different things, play different stunts with the horses,
Right.
and also do horseback riding races, dance on the horse and do all of
Amazing.
those things. And my dad was particularly always representing, our own household because
Fantastic.
he's like the first male
Like a
child.
tradition now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know from there. And my dad was also interested in polo. He never really watched football or was interested. So
No wonder.
yeah, that's particularly why polo piqued my interest. Yes.
Fantastic story, guys. I mean, at some points we would talk about polo, but excuse me, we don't really have much to say about polo right now because we don't even know if there's a calendar but I know competitions do occur at different sports clubs around Nigeria and around the world,
different polo
but it's
clubs.
a very, very expensive sport.
Yeah, and
Very, very.
it's why you don't find a lot of people talking about it.
Absolutely. It's for the wealthy.
Are you saying a lot of people are right? Never mind.
Do not go to
dude,
that lane.
dude,
I see what you're trying
Don't
to
even mind
do.
Uti. Let me even break it down for you.
Classist.
Let me even break it down for
No,
you.
I am no classist. It's just that you see, because on like football where there's like easy access and
Yeah.
it's not so expensive, there's lesser access to, the polo sports because it is more expensive. And because of that, you wouldn't find a lot of people talking about it. It's just the same way we'll talk about what product can I use? Give me a product where, there's like the very expensive one, you find lesser people buying.
Yeah.
But, people would still buy, but maybe on occasions,
I even wanted to-
occasionally. So it's the same way polo is. You find people talk about polo
Don't
occasionally,
mind
not
it.
every time
Which
like
is
football.
trying to make you defend it. I even went to break it down to him that it can never be for everybody. The average thoroughbred horse that wants to play polo, that wants to be used for polo, is fed about $50,000 a month. I heard that from someone that actually
That's
keeps
a lot.
horses. One horse, it's about $50,000 a month. I hope he was lying to me, but that's a lot of money, guys.
That's a lot of
That's
money.
too much money, So it's definitely for the wealthy and So yeah, shout out to Toyosi. Looking
Yeah.
forward to you owning your own pony and
I
starting your
can't
own.
wait. Maybe
polo
then I'll
business.
invite Uti.
Uchi would mess things up.
From the way you cleared your throat, I should have known.
But yeah, I mean, I met Toyosi online. Yeah, and the fascinating story was I heard one of her voiceover samples for, she just had a lot of stuff from different brands that she was just working on, or different characters that she was mimicking and whatnot. And I was pretty captivated. And I've always loved collaboration. I mean, we brought Mr. Awole here talking about hip hop and the likes, and collaboration for me is all about collaborating with other creatives. So hearing your voice, I knew that I was like, man, I need to talk to her. I would love to collaborate with her. I would
Don't
love to
make
do a
me shy.
voice. No, I'm serious. I'm
Don't
real.
make me smile too hard.
And that's one of the reasons why we've built this relationship, and that's why you're here today.
Yeah.
Why voiceovers? Why we're going to go into NFTs eventually, because you
Okay.
also told me that you're into NFTs, which is something
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of. I'm sure Uti's getting tired of hearing NFTs on the show. But guys, we're talking about NFTs for sure, and Toyosi is going to break it down properly. But let's start off with voiceovers. Why voiceovers? Why did you just think about it?
Okay, so I think it's because a lot of times I've heard people come to me and tell me, oh, you have a really nice voice. You should do this, you should try this. And from primary school, I've been doing public speaking activities, from
Right.
debates and reading the news.
Correct.
And you see, because I like to play pretend a lot, even growing up, I would, play different characters with different objects. When in place of toys, when I do not have toys, and then
You had imaginary
you have to
friends
change your
and all
voices
that.
exactly. When you're using
kind
Pinky,
of
for
person.
instance, Pinky and say your pointer, and then this has to sound this way, like hello, good morning, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So yeah, it started from there, and I'll just play around with my voice. And then when people started to tell me things like, oh, you sound nice, and then I'll just play different characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was how voice acting started for me.
Beautiful, man. Did you ever watch The Muppet Show growing up? Or Sesame Street?
Yes, of course.
Because all those guys were
didn't?
all...
I mean, yes.
I mean, all those guys were all voice actors,
yes,
more or less.
they were all,
they were
yes,
not
they were
in
all
any
voice
way...
actors.
I mean, growing up, I used to think they were real characters. As a kid, Oscar the Grouch was my guy.
It's Ibadan.
Because I was already lost that one. But yeah, Sesame Street. I mean, those were like really popular shows, of course. I mean...
Guy, that will enter. All right. All right.
I see how I'm just glad I'm out of this, Sha.
You
He
can
wanted
see.
to come at me, but all thanks
You
to God.
you can see the problems I'm facing. But it's good. One day we're going to mic him up. Well, he's mic'd up, but we're going to put him on set.
Put him on the spot and
I'm
then
telling
throw all
you.
these jabs back at him and see how he responds. You know, it's easier throwing
Yeah.
those jabs from the background
Ivan,
there.
just allow him. Allow him.
Sorry, but that was painful, Shao.
Yenta. One no. I've been leading since. I've been jabbing him. So anyway, let's take a bit of time off that. We're going to NFTs for sure. We want to go on a quick short. We want to go on a quick short break, and it's Toyosi, the elegant Toyosi. It's
Ooh,
FX.
thank you.
It's Uti in the background. We'll be right back at the spot with FX. Welcome back, guys. At the spot with FX, we've got the elegant Toyosi, as I've said before, Uti behind the scenes. We've been talking about football. What else have we been talking about?
Car
F1,
racing, yes.
polo.
Mhm.
Yeah, now we want to go into a bit
Voice-
of
voice acting
NFTs.
as well.
Yeah, voice acting. Say it. Thank you very much. Sometimes I forget things, so it's always good to have people around to remind you.
Don't worry, I'm here. Even though Uti's meant to be doing that, but
The
I'm doing
hater.
it for him.
The hater is behind the scenes. But guys, non-fungible tokens.
Yeah.
What attracted you to that department, or why? I could tell you, I've said it before, so you have to go and listen to the previous episodes.
I will.
I
I
hope you
will.
do.
I certainly will.
But, what attracted you to NFTs, really?
Money. I mean, it's the money.
True. Cha-ching.
Well, so I have a friend who trades NFTs. And I was
Okay.
like, guy, how far now? Show me the way now. Sure you get. I need to make this money. And then he took me to another friend who
Okay.
explained how to trade NFTs. So that was how I started my NFT journey. And
So
this
let's-
was like 3 months ago.
Okay,
or
so
2 months ago.
let me interrupt you. How
Mhm.
let's go with a brief crash course on how to start NFTs
Hmm.
and how you started. So let's start with your journey. You don't need to give us too much detail, but
Oh, of course.
let's hear how it started, please.
Yeah. So basically, let me even like just do a wrap up of what, NFTs are to me. So
Yes,
people see a lot of images and pictures and they're like, why would these pictures cost so much?
Yeah.
A lot of work has gone into it, one, but for some of these pictures or images, they come with things we call utilities. So for instance, Buju did his own NFT, launched his own NFT sometime back. I don't remember
Yep.
when exactly.
About a
And
year
if
ago.
you own
Yeah, we
if you
spoke
own
about
that
it too.
NFT, you have access to other things, say concerts and things like that.
Exactly.
Those things are what we call utilities. So when you get something, some form of what do I call it? Benefit from that particular from owning that particular image
NFT
or
or-
NFT, yes,
yeah.
that picture, NFT, it is called a utility. And for some people, they trade these NFTs based on the value. For some others, they hold on to these NFTs because they intend to
want
get
that
the value.
value to
They
increase.
intend to enjoy that value, or they're hoping that value would increase and then it can sell at a higher rate.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
for me, I am one of those people. You can call me a paper hander. I don't care. Paper hand is when, you get an NFT, you don't even wait for the value to go as high. You just take your money, as it comes. Like, this money is already enough for me instead
Okay.
of, holding on.
So when you say take
So,
your
yeah.
money, how do you get that money?
So for instance, say that you're able to mint an NFT.
So let's start with you. How did you start your first NFT? Let's say you
My
minted your first
first
NFT.
NFT.
What was the process like? How did you
the
start?
process.
Yeah.
So from what was explained to me, there's a process called grinding. This is the stage where you get to grind for something they call whitelist. So grinding is, say there's a particular project. They might tell you, okay, so this is the requirement to get a whitelist for our own project.
Okay.
Maybe all you need to do is draw a fun art or do something interesting
Okay.
or, be impactful. Tell people about our project, in a good way. welcome people, interact with people. There are different criteria to getting a whitelist. Now, this whitelist will give you like a certain access, a sure access to mint their project, because it's just like a raffle if you happen to be amongst the public people that will be minting an NFT. So say, for instance, now you have a whitelist and I don't. Sometimes some of the benefits that come with owning a whitelist are you could mint at a subsidized rate. Say I have to pay like, let me use Naira so it to be easier.
Right.
Even though it's mostly in dollars or
True.
ETH and Sol. There are different projects, Solana or Ethereum
Let's
blockchain.
use Nigeria.
But let's just Naira because, we're in Nigeria.
Aha.
So say that it will cost me 100 Naira to mint an NFT.
Okay.
Because you have a whitelist, you might get a discount and just mint that same NFT for just 10 Naira only.
Okay.
Now, if you flip and then sell for 200 Naira, you're making more money than I am because I minted public. And even that public minting is not certain because there are a lot of people trying to mint public as well. So it's going to be like a raffle thing. You know how people ballot and just, it's your luck.
True.
That kind of thing. So that's one of the essence of getting a whitelist for a project.
How do you get a whitelist?
Your mental health is very important because depending on the criteria for that NFT, it could be you have to stay on our server and send at least 20,000 messages. So now you go on your phone day after day, chatting with people, interacting with people, and making sure not to spam just so you get a whitelist. Now, that's not healthy. Some people do it the smart way. I mean, I do some things sometimes. Sometimes I just create like a voiceover for that particular project. I did it for one project recently, the Africans NFT. And then I created a website for another project, just a one-page website, basically. And, you can just do anything creative. Some people get as creative as singing or making a song, making a video if you're not shy.
And they're tracking that to ensure that you're doing that amount of interactions to qualify you for the whitelist.
You see, that's the thing. You have to get their attention. You have to tag them.
When people
tag them, when you do something, you tag them on social media. Look at what I've done for this project. You write things of, I love this project. This is that. So I thought to do this. You have to start by getting their attention because if you just do something, it would go unnoticed.
No wonder. So you see a lot of that on Twitter. You just people see just constantly posting
making
and tagging.
threads.
Exactly. Constantly tagging and being part of Twitter spaces.
Yes.
And maybe they get to contribute or whatever.
That's how it works.
So you're trying to build some sort of profile for yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
But there are two ways though. There's getting it, via the whitelist and minting, and there's also the option of getting at the secondary market. So some people do not even bother themselves with grinding and all of those things. Some people even buy the whitelist directly, even though it's not like, should I say legal per se to buy the whitelist.
We don't do anything illegal, so don't worry.
It's not legal. Legal is too far. I think this is the law in me talking. Legal is too far.
Okay, she's a lawyer as well. That's true.
A law student, but Equity already recognizes me as a lawyer, so.
Don't tell anybody.
So yes, so after you mint this project, of course, you can decide to hold on to it if you think that it's valuable and you want to enjoy the value, or if you think that the value might go higher and you'd rather sell at a higher price. Sometimes, how things may not always go one's way. It might drop, go back down to zero, you lose your money, or it goes higher and you make your money. So that's like the life of an NFT trader, basically.
Incredible. Incredible. Because I was about to say something, and yesterday I was watching the Manchester City Crystal Palace game.
Okay.
It's a football match, by the way, just in case.
Of course, Manchester City. I know that I do not like football, but I do know the names of the clubs. So what do you take me for?
Just trying to help Toyosi out here. Just covering all the bases.
This one enter. Yes, you threw a jab at me.
No vex. It's just all over the place. AJ lost to Usyk with a vex for her. But hey, City Palace played yesterday and Erling Haaland scored a hat-trick. Now, he's scored more goals than his appearances already in the Premier League. And the highest goal scorer in the Premier League history is a player known as, he's retired of course, player known as Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer has 260 goals in the Premier League. So here's the catch.
Oh, sorry to intrude. I would have thought it would be like Messi or Ronaldo or something.
No, in the Premier League. In the Premier League.
So those ones are not in the Premier League.
They don't play in the Premier League.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Ronaldo played in the Premier League. He's back in the Premier League.
Okay.
But he's older now. But but once you have to stay in the Premier League for a long time to be able to score 260 goals. Really.
Of course, that's a lot.
And so where I'm going with this story is Erling Haaland now has scored a hat trick. He's on the path to greatness because ever since he started his career. He's just 22 years old, by the way. Ever since he started his career,
Wow.
yeah, he has more goals than appearances. As in, he scores more than he even plays. He has more goals than 2 minutes. I'm telling you. So
Confused. Please put a confused emoji because how?
So here's how it works.
How,
so
please?
yesterday, for example, he scored a hat trick, and a hat trick is 3 goals.
Okay.
So, and he's only played 4 matches, for example, and he has scored no more than 4. More than 4. He scored 2 on his debut, and he has scored 3 now. He has scored 5 to 6 goals in 4 appearances. That's where we're going. That's what we're saying. He scored more goals than appearances.
Yeah.
So my point is, he's going to that level where I think he's going to catch up with Alan Shearer's record. He's actually
Because
going
he's still
to
young
break,
and he still has the
exactly.
time, a lot of
He's
time.
probably going to break that Premier League record.
Yeah, he will.
I feel like that is too early to call.
I know, but I mean, I'm trying
If
to.
he keeps at it or even, gets better, he should.
I'm trying to create is an example to where we're going with NFTs.
Okay.
So now he has scored his first hat trick in the Premier League. I, as a guy, or as a smart individual, I quickly go and create an NFT on Erling Haaland hat trick. Or that's me creating. Or I wait and maybe he has scored 200 and something goals and is close to hitting that. Then Manchester City now come out and say, hey guys, as something, we're putting out NFT on Erling Haaland's first hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can bid or whatever, as you said.
Yeah.
And the moment I catch up on that, I put in a bid. And if I'm lucky and I buy, I'm holding on to that. Because I know that in a few years, he's going to break that record. And everybody wants to buy that NFT.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hold on, let it appreciate in value, and I would sell. Does that make any sense?
Of course, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's where things like do your own research come in. Because it's not like you just go and mint any project. Some are rugs. You have to know which one will be valuable and which one you think is worth it. So yeah, that's where things like doing your, because I didn't mention, I mean, NFT is like a whole lot. You don't just go and mint any project. You have to do your research.
No doubt.
You have to be sure that it will be valuable. Just like this smart thing you've said that I hope I'll jump on before you. So yeah.
Only everybody anyway.
I mean, no idea is original under the sun. There's always going to be a bunch of ideas out there.
Yeah,
And
of course.
it's something I also spoke to Ladipo about. Ladipo was one of our guests here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I told him that, look, Buju has done an NFT. I think you should also think about
Do yours.
do yours because you have a huge following. A lot of Gen Zs are on your wagon as well. Might as well, So it creates some sort of.
But like she said, she was saying
Good interruption, Uti. Well done. Well done.
No. But what she said was the utilities that it comes with is, to be honest, I feel like that's what's the most important thing in NFTs.
Yeah.
Most times it doesn't have that much value anymore. That's why the NFT market has crashed. And
Anymore.
Well, it still does.
as much as it did.
It's because the
in
crypto
not
market
really.
crashed.
It's because
That's why it
we're
affected
currently in
them.
the bear market, and that's why everything is affected.
Yeah.
Not because it's funny because there might even be an NFT that has no utility. It's just hype and vibes, and then the value is Bored Ape is not just hype and vibe. There's so many utilities attached to Bored Ape.
Agreed, but
There's
they
so
were
many
hacked
utilities.
recently too.
Oh,
Bored
yeah,
Ape was hacked.
They were hacked.
I hope they've resolved that as well.
So it's different things for different projects, really. Just like they say, different.
Have you
strokes
made
with
money off
different folks.
NFTs? Let's put you on the spot
I've made
now.
money and I've lost money. I've made money. That Africans NFT project, I even won. But then I'm saying, should I categorize this as NFT? Because I had to use my voiceover skill. There was a contest in that space.
No way.
And people were singing and I just came with my own voice acting. I won
don't
$1,000.
Hey, don't give too much information.
Why?
You and I were going behind the scenes. We want to talk. We want to plan this. God.
Good Lord.
People are making money off NFTs
People
with
are
voiceovers.
People are making money. The truth is, as long as you have a skill, just come into the Web3 space. Because Web2 is what makes the Web3 space, to be honest, if you ask me. Yeah, the NFT, cryptocurrency, blockchain.
Web3 is the tool. Yeah,
Web3.
that's the tool. Just in case you don't know, Google that thing and go and read up on Web3 tools, really.
You better.
Oh, yeah.
You better do that.
It's at the spot with FX. Toyosi. Oof.
Of course.
Loved
Thank you
it.
for having me.
Nice one. I hope you do come back.
Sure. I mean, this has been interesting. So
yeah,
yes.
I totally enjoyed it. I mean, I learned a lot of stuff, and I'm learning every time I talk about NFTs. Now I've learned something very intriguing, and I think I'm going to take that bold step to actually start one NFT and mint, and most likely to be at the spot with FX. It would be this brand. Let's see how that works. Probably just put something out there and just be on the market.
Yes, I would like to be, part of the team when you intend to do that.
Of course, you have to be part of the team.
Yes, of course.
She's part of the team.
I'm part of the team.
I don't know.
I am part of it. He says it. So.
Automatic. I don't understand these people's man. Babes.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for At the Spot with FX.
Thank you.
It's always interesting when I come up with new guests. And guys, as I always say, share, like, comment. We're on all major platforms. So you don't have an excuse, man. Uti, Wagwan, you want to say anything, brethren? Because you guys are on top of the league, Abby.
You can't talk anymore. No, that last one you threw back at him. Oh, he gone,
Mad alone, 4 wins. How many points are you guys on now? 4 wins?
It's 12, isn't it?
That's 12, sorry. My math's not too good right now, but Arsenal best starts in their history in a long time. And that's good on Arteta and the boys. And Arteta ball has begun.
Come on, you Gunners, top of the league.
I didn't want him to do that, but guys, we just have to allow it. They're on top of the league, But it's peace and love at the spot with FX. Peace and love again and again and again and again and again and again.